Greatest. Hope everybody's doing well, feeling fantastic and excellent spirits. I know I'm off camera right now, but just give me a second as I'm been a little bit behind the 8 ball this morning. Self-inflicted, of course. Let me just put that on just to give it a little, there you go, some brightness there. Yeah, it has been a wild and crazy morning to say the least, because as I'm getting onto this live about a minute late, was it 9:32? Yeah, I got a 9:31. And to think that usually by now I have just about all my equipment set up. The only thing I have is my ring light and laptop, but that is it. I don't have my camera. I don't have my microphone set up. So yeah, it's been one of those mornings. As we get ready for a podcast that's going to be out at around 12:30 Eastern today, it's going to be on and popping. The football this weekend was wild and crazy. NFL, you had the 2 college games, which were actually surprising, let's call it as we see it, considering how they unfolded. And I have the NBA Christmas as they're looking forward to their big day. And I hope they get some shine. I know the NFL is going to swallow it up and spit them out, but considering that the games on Christmas are awful, and I don't care how big of an NFL fan you are, I don't care if it doesn't matter. The games on Christmas Day are an atrocity when it comes to the NFL, so I'm going to break out the NBA pom-poms. Not that I'm a shill for the NBA. But, yeah, Jay, I know you texted me beforehand. I was saying this just a minute ago. Yeah, it's been a crazy morning. I got on a minute late, and I know you had sent me some text last night regarding you going to check out that game for your birthday. Yeah, and this morning, I haven't even set up. It's been it's going to be one of those weeks. But then again, it seems like every day's like that for me. So, yeah, the NFL, I know you had sent me that. I got to check that out. And I guess that's NFL related. But I seen that bad. Oh, straight trash? All right. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And then I'll get back to you later, because then afterwards I got to, of course, record the podcast, post it. I got some running around to do this afternoon, last minute Christmas shopping. Yeah, just listen, that's just how my life is, I guess, and it's temporary. So I'm not going to stress it. I'm not going to get too crazy about it. But yeah, obviously the NFL was crazy over the last couple of days. And all right, I'll check that out. Yeah, NFL was nuts. Even dating back to Thursday night's game, that was just wild, with Seattle winning the way they did, the Bears and the way they won there on Saturday night. The Nick Sirianni, I mean, what is he doing going for 2 there with 4 minutes to go in the game when they were already up by 3 scores? It was 27-10. I mean, come on. And that's why you saw the brawl there. The end of the Steelers-Lions game, as Jay and I know pretty well. And that was just, I mean, where were the replays? Listen, just terrible on their part when it comes to that. But saying that fan... Oh, was it? Yeah. I mean, yeah, and what he did was inexcusable. I mean, how's DK Metcalf going to get involved with a fan there? You have to have rabbit ears. You can't even, pay attention to that, and he should know that. So, yeah, that was just terrible. Bio, greetings. What's up, my man? And, yeah, just a crazy day yesterday. NFL, Carolina, Tampa, and it's crazy because when I think about my over-unders, think about this for a second. Now, of course, I don't bet these. This is just for fun, my over-unders at the beginning of the year. And for not only just for the Lions, but the Buccaneers. Weren't the Buccaneers 6-2 at one point? And their number was 9.5. So I was flying high. I was thinking that, this is going to be a lock. We got to the halfway point of the year. Everybody was talking about Baker Mayfield being the front runner for MVP, blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm sorry. Business, never personal. Todd Bowles, I think that's going to be his last coaching job ever. Hey, Tatsuya. Panias, hey. David said, stop sleeping at the wheel, do something. J-Rod, it was a right call, no doubt how it was dealt was with garbage. Oh, yeah, with Amon-Ra St. Brown? Yeah, absolutely. I know, we were back and forth on that in real time. And there was 2 offensive pass interferences on that. The other one was the pick play. But Yeah, that was crazy. That just the way that game ended. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen an ending like that to where the offense got the last call of the game and he was stopped at the 1 yard line and he lateraled back to Jared Goff, went into the end zone, and it was called a touchdown, which was crazy. I mean, and then I tell you, what do you mean we? Oh, as Steeler fans, or we meaning Jay and I? Because just jumping on the thread here, Joel. Jay's a Lion fan. I'm a Steeler fan. So yeah, we were watching it. We were watching it together. We weren't in the same company, but that's what I was referring to as we. But yeah, just a crazy way to end that game. And then what else you had yesterday? Jacksonville. I want to post a video about them because, again, I'm not sold on them just yet. I watched the first. Tesla was pushed into the player. It's funny because when they showed the replay, I guess I got to go back and watch it. Because the thing is that you could tell that he was instrumental in that pick play. So I'll definitely watch it again. What NFL team got the best record? Well, right now it's a tie. Seattle, New England, and Denver. They all got the best. They're all tied for the best record, 12-3. But yeah, Jacksonville. I'm really surprised how they went into Denver and they put 34 points on them. Now I wasn't watching that game, considering my focus was on the Steeler game. So I don't know if there were turnovers involved, whatever. I didn't follow the game that closely. Okay, thanks. Oh yeah, no problem, Joel. Welcome aboard. Well, what's your favorite NFL team? I'm curious, Joel. And also, where you from? Now, as far as anything else happening in sports, obviously the football is going to dominate. Are Alabama and Miami live dogs in the next round? I'll talk about that. What again? Alabama, I mean, down 17-0. That was crazy. Oh, you're a Giant fan. Well, let me ask you this, Joel. Now, you're going to play the Raiders this week, which is going to be the battle for the number 1 pick. I'm sure you got to trade the pick. You have your quarterback, at least so you think. And it's not a quarterback that's out there that's a can't miss. I mean, Fernando Mendoza, But Bo Nix threw a pick and had a fumble. Oh, okay. Now, as far as the Giants, would you trade down or who would you draft? I'm curious. Yeah, Tank Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's an awful game. Alabama gets destroyed by Indiana. Just trade the pick to the Lions. Hey, there you go. Why not? And it's funny because if the Lions are on the outside looking in, do they have enough draft capital to trade up? They're going to have to trade number 1s from here to eternity, though. Alabama gets destroyed by Indiana. And as much as I hate Alabama, I think Indiana wins. But I don't know. If I could see, here's the thing with Indiana, and granted, I get it that against Oregon, now they never trailed. But when Mendoza threw that pick 6 to tie the game, early fourth quarter, and then they got 10 points left. The next drive, he took him down the field. I want to see where, if Indiana, let's say, is trailing second half, let's say they're down 20-13. I want to see some pressure on this team. I want this to be a situation to where they're down by a score, even 2 scores for that matter, second half, and how they're going to handle it. Because you would think Alabama, they'll be able to handle it. How will Indiana? Will Cignetti panic? Will he get tight? Will Mendoza get tight? To me, that's what I want to see. Indiana should pick to win it all. That's a good one, Bio. And you trust Mendoza. Something tells me, I don't know, man, Georgia. And they're up and down. I mean, you can't trust Gunnar Stockton from one game to the next, but I don't know, man. And, of course, Ohio State, defending champ. Ohio State Miami is going to bring back memories of 2002, the championship game. And how loaded were the Hurricanes that year? And the year before, obviously, they won the title. And, I mean, the year before, geez, how many pros did they have on that team? Going down the list, from Bryant McKinney to Andre Johnson to Ed Reed to They had Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow too. He didn't get drafted by the Browns. Obviously, his career was awful. To Philip Buchanan, Mike Rumpf. I mean, please, the team was beyond loaded. I think, pound for pound, here's a good argument. That 2001 Miami Hurricane team, talent-wise, I'm not saying they're the best college football team ever. I'm not saying, but NFL talent-wise, that's probably the best team ever. I mean, that team had NFL written all over it. Fernando Mendoza probably playing for the Raiders next year. Yeah, I would think. Because even if the Giants get the number 1 pick, they're not drafting a quarterback. At least you don't think. I talked to a major Michigan insider, and they're in the process of resurrecting John Madden. Doc SafeTube. I know you wrote something here earlier. Hold on. It depends on who on the mob, who wins and who loses. Sports is rigged. I don't know if it's rigged, Doc, but with the gambling houses being involved with these leagues, I mean, you could certainly question it. Sports is about betting. It's highly corrupt. Listen, I can't disagree, but, I mean, and it's all contingent on the refs. Players aren't throwing games. I mean, you're going to look at Terry Rozier. I mean, Terry Rozier is not a big-time player. And Damon Jones is a coach who, even in his own right, weren't a big-time player or wasn't a big-time player. Unless you're seeing, like, let's say this postseason, if Josh Allen is overthrowing a receiver by 20 yards, he's wide open. I mean, then you'll tell me, oh, all right, now it's rigged. So, I should get a job, Bernardo? Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, this is my job, so I got the best job possible. I just need to start getting paid, that's all. It has been young man for decades. And listen, right, you're going to go back to the 70s. You're going to go back to, where are you going to go back? 1919, Black Sox scandal? Of course. We know in some way, shape, or form, CCNY in the 50s, point shaving and all that. Players are involved, that's the reason they're getting the big bucks. All right, so when you say that, in what degree? Because what? You're going to tell me Emmanuel Clase who got $50,000 because, I mean, that's big bucks? No, that I disagree with you. Yeah, it's funny, Donnie. Yeah, I go way back with those. So, yeah. And no, I don't know those two, but I am familiar. Joel says cops are corrupt. All right, now we're going to talk about cops being corrupt. I mean, we could talk about that if you want. Players are involved, that's the reason they're getting the big bucks. But the thing is, big bucks, I mean, come on. Are you serious? What? So you mean to tell me that teams are paying quarterbacks big bucks so they can throw games? That I totally disagree with. Because let me tell you something. If the mob was involved, let's just say they want to give an example, and I'll just throw X quarterback on X team. Let's say he got paid $50 million a year, and you mean to tell me the mob's going to pay him more than that to throw games? Because he's got to pay him more than that. Because if the mob came to me and said, hey, you got to throw this game so you're not making the playoffs. Oh, well, I'm making $50 million this year. You got to double that in order for me to throw these games. Because to me, I'm not throwing away a game for $100,000. I mean, that is the most ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So yeah, I mean, that's like me trying to, no, if I'm going to do something, I'm doing something big. I'm not, come on. That's like robbing a grocery store instead of a Brinks truck. I mean, seriously. So you mean to tell me I'm going to throw my whole life away, or in this case, these guys are going to throw their whole careers away for literally, what, $50,000, $100,000? Which to you and I mean, that's a lot. But so if someone making $50 million, they're going to throw games for that? I mean, you couldn't be further from the truth. James Madison wait, hold on. Yeah, that's the last one. That's Biles' comment. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm caught up here. All right, James Madison got killed. Hopefully Bob Chesney has payback on his mind next year. UCLA plays Oregon. Yes. Oh, yeah, I can't stand Dan Lanning either. I don't like him at all. Here we go. Let me see. I'm catching up with your comments here, guys. Donnie at it again. Oh, you must know it. Moto Toad, you must know who he is then. Should the Mets go after Clase if he's found not guilty? You see, I'd like that. I don't know if they would, though. Because they're going to say, oh, we got Luke Weaver and Devin Williams. And not only that, I know the spotlight's going to be on him. Listen, I'd say yes, but at the same time, Bio. Me personally, as a fan, I'd say, yeah, why not? I'd bring him in. And especially if he's not guilty. But would David Stearns do that? Yeah, and what is he's not getting paid big money yet either. So, but the thing is also with Cleveland, you'd have to trade him. I'd say yes. But I don't know if that's going to happen. It's David Stearns. Happy holidays, spreading love. Wanted to say you're amazing to be around. Oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Wholesome Rager. It would be their handlers. It would not be the coaches. It would be the... Yeah, but even then, Doc, their handlers, I mean, again, you're going to present to a quarterback, a point guard, a relief pitcher, their handlers, even if they say, hey, for a prop bet, they're thinking that you're going to throw a strike on your first pitch, but you got to throw a ball. Here's $50,000. And these guys are making millions of dollars. I don't buy it. That I'm not buying. What's this? You might want to do homework, young man. And listen, that's the part of sports where I'm not naive or going to turn a blind eye to it. If it's a thing where it gets announced or where it gets talked about, I'm going to talk about it without question. But you got to give me proof. You got to give me proof that the games are rigged. I need full evidence. I need documents. I need whatever, receipts. I need all that for me to believe. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you. All I know is in 2026, you guys are going to have a... And listen, I'll be here to talk about it. I'll be here to, I don't want to say destroy, but I'll be here to critique all of it. So I'm not even looking at it from a standpoint of, no, really? No way. Nothing's rigged. Listen, I understand it's entertainment. It's something that, even more so with the gambling houses tied into it, anything is possible. And I'm not going to sit here and be so out of my gourd to say, like, I can't believe this is happening. But the thing is, you need to see proof. You got to have proof. So even if somebody misses a field goal or somebody bricks a three or a quarterback overthrows a receiver or does it 3 or 4 times a game, which could be suspicious, but even then. Or what about Gary Sheffield? The rumors, remember him when he was the shortstop of the Milwaukee Brewers? I understand rotisserie gambling wasn't as big then, but rumor had it that he was throwing balls into the third row because he wanted to get out of Milwaukee. So what? You're going to say like, oh, well, I couldn't bet on the Brewers because he's throwing games? I mean, come on. Human element and money involved is going to happen, period. No, I mean, listen. And Jay, we've talked about that a million times. I'm not going to sit here to think that while I'm watching these games, that every game I'm going to watch, oh, this game's going to be rigged. Oh, this is whatever. No. If anything, if there's one game that I think of the top of my head in BIOS here so he knows, and I don't even want to say it's rigged, but if you want to say, wait a minute, something smells fishy, was the non-pass interference call in the championship game Rams-Saints a few years ago. That you could say, what the hell? Because that determined the outcome of a team that would have gone to a Super Bowl, and even though the Saints had an opportunity afterwards. So we can't discount that. But if it wasn't for that call, they would have kicked the field goal, they would have went out to the Super Bowl. And the Saints had opportunities. As a matter of fact, when the game went into overtime, the Saints had the ball first. Then they turned it over. But I understand it shouldn't have got to that point. I get it, 100%. And if you want to even say at that point, oh, no, that's something wrong, fishy, blah, 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 whatever, you have a right. But again, the NFL knows that the officials with the human eye, they called it like they saw it. And obviously they got it completely wrong. But am I going to think right away that, oh, yeah, it was rigged? If anything, that should have went for the Saints because that would have been a home call. If the game was in L.A., then you could see, oh, wait a minute, they got a home call or a home non-call in that case. No. Alvin, what's going on? What do you got? Darling, Stenroos. Where are you from, Alvin? Anyone cooking dishes for Christmas? I'm actually making cookies. That's actually my gift. I know it's like very, I don't know. Yeah, because instead of like going shopping, whatever, I just figured I'd just bake cookies from the heart, several cookies, put them in a nice little tray with cellophane and ribbon, and away we go. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. By our whole family will be here this week. Oh, nice, Jay. Oh, nice. That's cool. So you're going to be entertaining. I got all the proof I need on these Doctor DVDs. Westbeer, Doctor DVDs? What's on those DVDs? Wanna Beast, happy Hanukkah to you, even though it's over. Well, today's the last day, isn't it? Yes, happy holidays to you and yours. Bro, that team Tom Brady was on had some fishiness, probably because they were on the coast. The feds are lizarding. Christ is king. Yes, all praise. That team Tom Brady was on had some fishiness. Oh, you guys talking about the Flakegate, Spygate? Right. Are you going to say that was rigged? That the feds were involved in those games? I mean, that's why, come on. I got to see proof. Show me proof. Here's a case in point. Tim Donaghy. There you go. There's proof. If we get rogue officials in any of these sports, then we know. And if they were in bed with these gambling houses, then we know. And I get it. In every sport, every game, there's always one call or two calls that are questionable. It's going to make you think, like, what the hell? How would they call that? So on and so forth. But is it rigged? Got some conspiracy theories today. I see. I love it. Yeah, no, this is fun. And listen, I'm not trying again. People can laugh at what I'm saying. People can say, oh, JAYREELZ, your head's in the sand, or you don't know what you're talking about, or oh, you don't watch sports or whatever. Come on. Are we nuts? I watch the games just as much as everybody else does. And to hear the word rigged, again, you're talking about Black Sox scandal. And do you need a history lesson? Not you guys, but for those listening for the first time, do you need a history lesson on the Black Sox scandal? Not that I was there to watch it, of course, but if you watch the movie 8 Men Out, that's all you need to know about the Black Sox scandal. Shoeless Joe Jackson, how they threw the World Series because their owner, I forgot his first name, but the guy who ran Comiskey, who had the ballpark named after him, Comiskey Park, the owner of the White Sox at that time, did not pay his players. So therefore, there were outside forces involved that were going to pay Shoeless Joe Jackson, among other players, $8,000 to throw the World Series. And when it came out, there you go. That's what I want to see. That's where I'm going to get the proof. Not any of this, oh, well, this guy missed a field goal, or this guy bricked a free throw, or threw a wild pitch when he was supposed to throw a strike. No. Yes, you could question it. You can even debate it. But if you don't have anything concrete about it, you can't say it's rigged, because if it gets to a point where all this stuff starts to come out, and I get it, you got to filter out the bad referees and the players that are doing it, understood. But unless it spreads like wildfire to the point where the integrity of the game is really compromised to where I just can't watch anymore, then so be it. Am I there? Not even close. That's it. Why does my sister come into my room late at night? Oh, all right, Austin. Sorry to hear that, but okay. Because both of you are nasty. All right, Austin. But, yeah. So, no, listen, that's an interesting topic. And that's one I would debate. And you know what? That's actually, they gave me some interesting material, because I'm thinking about going out in the street in New York City to do a little on the street debate. And that's one that if I stop any sports fan, I'll just put up a big sign that said, does anybody think sports is rigged? And then we could go back and forth on it. And I'll videotape it and maybe put it up on a channel, do something like that. Like a non-location. I've thought about doing that. And even though I know it's cold out there, as it's officially winter, yesterday was the first day of winter. But yeah, this podcast is going to be good. I'm going to, just like I said, the crazy comebacks of the weekend NFL. Alabama, Miami did have a shot. Live dogs. The NBA, I think, forget about watching the NFL on Thursday, even though NFL is going to blow them away in the ratings. But Those NFL games on Thursday. I get it. Detroit, Minnesota, it's their last gasp for the Lions, but that's the only game to watch. Denver, Kansas City, hard pass. Dallas, Washington, open gifts. Those games, forget about it. I'd rather watch Knicks, Cavs. And I don't even know the full slate of NBA games. I know that, let me think. If I had to think off the top of my head, I think OKC's the 2:30 game. Are they playing? I think Denver's the last game. I think it's Minnesota at Denver's the last game. I know the Lakers are playing. I don't think they're playing Golden State this year. Are the Lakers playing? Are they playing Houston? I think they're playing Houston on that day. Let me see. I know Cavs and Knicks for the first game. And to think that's the only Eastern Conference matchup of the 5 games. Let's see. And that's it. MLB Aggrieved Fan Index, the 10 most frustrated fan bases of 2025. If the Mets are number 1, then I don't know what is. And I don't want to hear Pirates or anything. No. As a matter of fact, just to have some fun with this, Mets got to be number 1. All right, Red Sox are 10. I can see that. Reds 9. Orioles 8. I could see that. Rockies, Giants. Let's just skip. Top 5. Cardinals. Angels are 4. Pirates 3. Mets 2. Twins are 1. How are the Twins 1? The Mets should be number 1. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Met fan, but come on. Yeah, Lakers, Houston. Lions are done when not making the playoffs. Yeah, the only way you make the playoffs now, J-Rod, is that if Green Bay loses their next 2 and you win the next 2. And that could happen if Jordan Love is going to be out. Because Green Bay, they play Baltimore, and they're a dead team walking after last night. And who knows what Lamar Jackson with his back. So, And that game's Saturday night. Ooh, that game took a huge hit. You may have Tyler Huntley and Malik Willis. Oh, my goodness. No, who's going to watch that game? I'm not. Oh, that's going to be an awful game. 70% chance for Lions to make the playoffs, not happening. Yeah, the only way you make it is if you win the next 2 and they lose the next 2. So, yeah, Lakers Houston was on schedule, not standings. Here we go. San Antonio is playing Oklahoma City, which I'm sure OKC is going to want revenge from that semifinal game in the NBA Cup. Dallas at Golden State, of course, they had to have Klay Thompson again. I mean, how many times are you going to see Klay Thompson go back to Golden State? Houston, LA, and Minnesota, Denver. That is your NBA slate. Those are some good games. I mean, listen, Dallas, Washington, I'm not watching that. I know I'm not paying for Netflix now on Christmas for the Lions game. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Save $18. I saw a poll. What fan base says the worst right now? New York Giants, New York Mets, New York Jets. If I had to sincerely be objective to that, yeah, the Mets would be number 3 on that. Giants and Jets. I mean, I'd say Jets because they haven't won in a million years, but the Giants have been, I mean, think about this. Since Super Bowl 42, which is now, that's 18 years. Oh my God. It's going to be 18 years. Since that time that they've won the 2 Super Bowls, they've been to the playoffs 2 other times. One game they got embarrassed by Green Bay. The other one was Daniel Jones. They won in Minnesota. But their record since then, their record rivals the Jets. And the thing is, I would say, you know what, I think the Giants are number 1. Now, they have a quarterback, though. I'd say number 1 only for this reason. Because they are a franchise that models themselves after consistency and winning, etc. You take away those 2 Super Bowl years, which I know you can't, but they've done nothing. Their record over the last, decade, well, I'll say since 2011 when they won that last Super Bowl, their record rivals the Jets. But the Jets don't have a quarterback, but at least they have 5 first-round picks the next 2 years. And who knows, the Giants get the number 1 pick overall. That's a good one. I would say Giants right now, only because we all expect the Jets to be bad. Nobody expects the Giants to be bad, and they've been really bad. Tatsuya, Twins fans saw their team sell at the deadline, plus the owner just took the team off the market. Yes. Yeah, and based on a little bit I read, is that they were looking back at 2019, how they had 101 wins. They led the majors in home runs. I think they still have the home run record overall for the regular season. And who do they play in the first round? The Yankees. And the Yankees always beat the Twins. So the Twins, and I knew going into that series, I was actually there for game 1. Yeah, because game 2 was Saturday. In 2019, I went game 1 with my father-in-law and brother-in-law, because they're both big-time Yankee fans. And the Yankees demolished them. On the real, thought I have heard from an Inside Michigan Football leaning towards Biff Bog. Oh, Bocce as head coach. As a diehard, I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. Yeah, they may hire from within, I would think. Hey, Tatsuya Murakami. Sign with the White Sox? I'm going to talk about that on the podcast, too. Why would he go to the White Sox? Talk about a random team. Yeah, well, I have you guys here, even though I know Jay, I know you wrote about this on the channel. I have to talk about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. It's weird because I'm on the fence from this regard. I give Jake Paul credit because he did not have that choreographed. It wasn't scripted. I thought with the Tyson fight, despite the fact that Tyson is, 100 years old, but I thought Tyson was going to have his moments where he's going to try to go off on him. And we saw Tyson did not do that. So I'm thinking, oh, geez, all right. So he's going in the ring with Anthony Joshua. So I thought to myself, it's like, all right, how I look at it is that he's probably going to have his moments, but I'm sure there's got to be something in the fine print. It's like, hey, man, you can't unload on me. You can't knock me out, knock me down, whatever. And then you're going to see a boring-ass fight. Those first 4 rounds were, and I didn't even watch the fight, just from what I read, but I did see the knockdowns and I did see the entire 6th round. And as much respect as I give him for letting Joshua do his thing, but let's face it, and I understand he had to gain weight to move up to heavyweight, so obviously he wasn't fit, but you could just tell. I mean, the guy's built like a Greek god, where, come on, Jake Paul? I mean, seriously? And then for him to just be winded and flailing away, I mean, let's face it. He didn't deserve to be in that ring with him. I don't care. You can talk about, but look how much money he got, whatever. No. I mean, the guy looked like, it might as well have me fighting in there with Anthony Joshua. And Joshua didn't even break a sweat, number 1. Number 2, he didn't even look like he was breathing. I mean, the guy was a machine. It just goes to show you that Jake Paul doesn't have work to do. He has a ton of work to do to get anything close, to get even half of what Anthony Joshua is. So that's why, he's making a mockery of it. And that's why boxing is, please. To think that Jake Paul is coming in to say boxing is, that is as laughable as it gets. And I said it the other day. That's like me getting into play single A baseball and I get a few hits and maybe I bat, if I'm fortunate, I bat 200. So it's like, hey, I got a base knock. Hey, I hit one to the wall, or maybe I got lucky and hit a home run. All right, bet. I'm ready for the majors. And I step into the batter's box, and I said Tarek Skubal the other day, but I can step into the batter's box on the worst reliever in baseball, and I'll get schooled in a heartbeat. That's exactly what that is. So, listen, and I'm not knocking Jake Paul's business savvy or even to a certain extent his toughness and his grit and all that to get to that point. Can't knock that. But again, he is, let's face it, and this is saying it nicely, he is an average fighter. To go 12 rounds with someone half of Anthony Joshua would be a lot. Because that person would school him in a ring for 36 minutes. Half of Joshua. So, yeah, I don't want to hear it. if he really wants to be serious. Now, of course, he's a big name. We all know his background, etc. So, I mean, he can go in there with Tyson Fury, and it'll probably, who knows how many millions of people will watch. Now, Fury would destroy him. And Fury isn't built like Joshua either, who's went after Tyson Fury in the post-match. But, yeah, I mean, come on. Who are we kidding? All right, what do we got here? Let me scroll back up. Murakami will strike out 200 times in 2026. And listen, I can see that. Paul could take a punch. I give him that. Yeah, I got his jaw broken too, twice. Man who needs cookies. I like that screen name. Or that handle. Jay, I would pay serious money to be a personal toilet. Oh, jeez. Jay may need the money. Yeah, you might have. Jay, you're actually right about that. I don't know if I'd stoop that low. It'd be a thing like, hey, if he's like, hey, tell me what your Venmo is, I'll send you 10 grand. I'd be like, oh, geez, I think I'd have to consider that, right? No offense, Jay. No, I hear you, Jay. No, it's all good. No, listen, I even laugh at that. I'm not going to be like, oh, come on. Listen, you know me. People have come out and said stuff, and I've either be like, oh, come on, let's tone down. Or, you know, I got to laugh at it. Come on, man. I mean, if I can't be... If I can't do this and roll with the punches, then I shouldn't be doing this. And there's people are going to take it personal or whatever. Now, listen, if you're going to come out and start saying things personal to me, I'll just have to tune you out because I'm not going to get baited. But, you know. But no, I know you're having fun, Jay. Now, it's all good. And that's funny how you said that. I got to give it up. That was a good follow-up. TDA Grimm, what's up, man? He did okay for barely a pro boxer. Well, here's the thing. In the first 4 rounds, they were booing. He was just dancing around. He didn't really connect on his punches. And then, like I said, I saw the entire 6th round, and he was literally doing this. I mean, yeah, listen, do I expect him to be precision? Like I'm looking like a fighter here, which I'm far from. But, you know, expectations were Joshua would knock him out earlier. Or maybe that's what it was. And they said, hey, let's get to the 6th round. I mean, he knocked him down 4 times, and in that 6th round, the first knockdown, the second one was just, whoo. He took it, though. That I give him. He took it, and he was smiling afterwards. I don't know, man. Philippines, I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me, no doubt. 3 brothers. I think Tank would have killed him as well. No, absolutely. I think Gervonta would, and I wanted to see that. And to think, he went from one extreme to the other. He went from Gervonta, who's what? 5'6"? And what's Jake Paul? 6'1"? So he was... Tank was giving up what? If I do my math correctly. 6 inches and reach and all that? Where Joshua was 5 inches taller and a longer reach? Oh, forget it. Say hi to Samandar. Samandar, what's up? What's my cup size? Raging Ricky. People want to be stupid. I like to be funny. That's all. Yeah, exactly, man. Jake Paul's 28 and still has time to improve in boxing, but I doubt he'll take it seriously because fame. No, exactly. No, it's Tatsuya 1,000% right. If he put that aside just to concentrate on that, who knows? 100%. Yeah, that's like me saying, hey, I have a channel. I'm talking sports, but I also want to I want to be a filmmaker. I also want to be a plumber. I also want to do... It's like, no. You zero in on one and master that, you're good. And that's the thing. He has more the influencer / podcast, because I know he does his podcast too, guests, things of that nature. So it's kind of hard to juggle all that. I mean, from a survival standpoint, I expected first or second round knockout. Oh, no, I hear you, TDA Grimm. No, 100%. I hear that. To power slap? That's funny, Tatsuya. Imagine that. He'd probably be good at it, too. But no, TDA Grimm, that's an excellent point. I really didn't want to get on today to talk about sports. Can't lie. Pretty butthurt after yesterday, but I'm glad I did now. Oh, that's good, J-Rod. Hey, listen, right? That's the one thing about these lives. And even when I do the Wednesday live, 12:30, which I will do one on Christmas Eve, right here on YouTube, Eastern time. Yeah, even if people wanted to talk, and that's a good thing. A lot of people really don't get into that live and talk nonsense. But if they did, so be it. He would have landed 2, probably. Yeah, because Javante, I mean, yeah, he's no joke. Bro, you look strong. Maybe you want to work on Andrew Tate. Nah, listen. I heard Andrew Tate got knocked out too. Didn't he fight a couple days ago? Captain Safety, what's happening? Nah, fighting's not my thing. I'm not doing that. Unless, you ready for this? I know it's a weird, crazy request. I would only fight if there's skates involved. Because that's a different story. Nothing like hockey fights. But real hockey fights, like back in the day. The hockey fights today, the tough guy isn't the tough guy of yesteryear. So, Lions were robbed. I was pissed. TDA Grim, you're a Lion fan. Hit me laughing and out of a bad mood, JAYREELZ for the win. Ah, that's good, man. Got me there. No, that's good, J-Rod. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you jumped on board. Glad that you're getting a few laughs here. Got to drop. I subbed. We'll come back again for the chats. Appreciate you, sir. TDA, thank you, man. Are you from Detroit? Are you from Michigan? Real quick before you leave. Only because if you're a Lion fan, we got another Lion fan in the house. That's our guy, J-Rod. But TDA Grim, thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. Happy holidays to you. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little Jake Paul on the podcast, too. So that's what I got. I know, I got to set up here. I got my ring light, but I got to set up the camera and the microphone. I'll jump off soon. Detroit, awesome, man. Good for you. I'm glad you hopped on board. I got another Detroit fan here. fan, big time, J-Rod. So love to increase the, that's it right there. J-Rod underneath. You just put it up there. I know you got to run Grim, or should I call you TDA? I'll say TDA. But yeah, definitely come back. The community's growing here. We're building. So much appreciated. One more time, and happy holidays to you. But, yeah, so that's what I got, people. I'm looking forward to this podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot to talk about. And then, also, as a matter of fact, let me see. Can I look real quick here? If I can get a 10-day forecast, the next 10 days, because next Wednesday, which of course is New Year's Eve, is going to be an epic, and I mean epic, live stream. The high's 35. All right, so it's going to be cold. All right, so I don't care. As long as it doesn't rain or snow. And if it did, I guess it would even make it for a more epic, Ben Jones, egghead. Yeah, well, actually, I got to shave my head, so I'd even look more like an egghead once I get it shaved. But I hear J-Rod. I was crushed after Rams lost to Seattle. Yeah, that was a rough one, man. I would fight if you stare at me wrong. Unspoken Codes, New York Street. Yeah, I know. That's why in New York, if you're going to look at somebody, you got to do one of these and then look away. But you look at them like, yeah, I'm here, and what? And then look away. Not like just stare and then 1, 2. Because once you get to like, you can stare at somebody maybe for like 2 seconds. But once you get to that 3rd second, that's it. So, yeah, and I'm not out here, please. I'm too old to be fighting people. But yeah, next Wednesday, live stream this week, as you know. And also, Christmas Day, I'm not going to do a live stream or a podcast. And the same for New Year's Day. So you're going to get me once this week for the podcast, but that's fine. I'll try to maybe hop on board. Yeah, I'll see. I'll talk about it more on Wednesday. But next Wednesday is going to be it. Next Wednesday is going to be a big-time live stream. And I'm going to give you a hint. It's going to be, I think I said it the other day, it's going to be outdoors, number one. I'll do it on my phone. And we're going to take a little trip. In fact, it's going to be a long trip. That long trip is going to be, and here's what I'll say for this now. And I'm going to post this as we get closer. I'm actually going to probably start posting it as early as Wednesday just bombard it on social media. We're going to take a trip from the lower part of Manhattan. So the southern tip of Manhattan, the southernmost tip of Manhattan, which would be Broadway, all the way to the northern part of Manhattan. On Broadway. So I'm taking Broadway straight up. I'm going to pass by whatever landmarks, etc. And it's going to be on. And I may start it. It'll be more definitive as I get closer, but it's probably going to be 9:30. Just like I do the podcast pre-games. 9:30. Probably. If it changes, you're going to get big time heads up. Not to worry, but yeah, it's going to be epic. It's going to be my year end. Going to go all out. It's going to be crazy. And let's see how many people hop on board. That's why I got to plug it. Yes, Bio. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Bio, I wasn't expecting much. I had a feeling in the back of my head that it was going to be bad. 3 in the last 4 losses have come on the last play of the game. I know. You're right. Eagle game. Seahawks, and the first Niner game? Yeah, because those are your 3 losses. No, then you had the 4th loss. Who was the 4th loss? Top of my head. I know Bio's going to come up with it before I even look on the screen. That's why I'm not going to look. Rams, 4 losses. Niners, at home. Oh, it's coming to me. No, not Indy. Hold on. Yeah, because Indy beat the Chargers. They didn't beat Niners. Eagles. I'm sure Pi already put it up. I'm not looking. Jeez, why am I drawing blanks? All right, now I have to break it down. So you guys played... Oh, Carolina. Carolina was the last one. See, I knew I was going to get it. Damn it. Lions started 3 different centers yesterday. I couldn't run the ball. And that was a big thing too, Jay. And that's kind of like the real surprise is the Steelers' run defense is awful. And yeah, you guys didn't... You had a lot of yards, which I was very surprised. Michigan basketball, undefeated national champ. Well, we haven't had one since 1976 when Indiana did it, and that'll be the 50-year anniversary. So, I don't know. To me, I'd say no, and I got news for you. The closest we came to that was what, was it 2014? Kentucky, and it lost to Wisconsin. That's the year that Duke won, right? Or was that 2015? Hold on, let me think. I think it was 2015. That team, that was the Karl Anthony Towns, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. I think it was that team, wasn't it? That was the last time. And they were 40-0. They went into the Final Four undefeated. 2015, Kentucky. And... Oh, no, they were 38-0. They could have gone 40-0. That was the whole point, right? Yeah, on that team was Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, Devin Booker, Willie Cauley-Stein. I was thinking Michael Kidd Gilchrist. He wasn't on that team. Trey Lyles. Yeah, I was drawing blanks big time. Yeah, and they went 38-0, and they lost to Wisconsin, and then Wisconsin then lost to Duke. Oh, and I hate Duke. Ugh. All right, let me see the rest of what we got here. Going to the game after my birthday. Yes, that's right. That's right, Jay. I know you're going to be ecstatic for that one. Can't wait to see New York City. Bye. I can't wait to have you here, man. That's going to be great. Yeah, San Francisco, Carolina. Yep, you got it. I knew it. The scariest place in New York City is Woodlawn Cemetery. Tatsuya, have you been? I was in Woodlawn Cemetery a couple years ago. I wanted to go in there because there's a lot of famous people that are buried there. So, yeah, that's why I went. Washington Square Park, told to the adult candy and homeless. And I'm thinking about going to Washington Square Park to do one of my on-location sports debates. Michigan really looks good. Yeah, absolutely, Bio. You got that right. I don't see an undefeated national champ, but they're winning the champion. Yeah, listen, they're going to be up there. Yeah, the best teams right now, them, Purdue, although they lost, they got bombarded by Iowa State at home. They lost by over 23 points. Um, yeah, Michigan. I believe Arizona. I know I haven't really followed the college basketball, but I know those two teams. I mean, they're really good. Tickets to the graffiti covered. Oh yeah, the deepest subway station. Yeah, that's that long ass dark hall. Oh yeah, I've been through there many times. Yeah, Arizona. Yes, it was Arizona too. Yeah, I was thinking about them. It was like, wait a minute, Arizona. Yeah, I know. I haven't been on top of the college basketball like I should, but once we get into January, I definitely will. Michigan runs into Arizona in the tournament. That could be a problem. Other than that, no one has a shot. Yeah, Michigan's. Yeah, they're stout. Shohei, New York City. Where are you from? Oh, I'm sure you hate Arizona. Absolutely. Playing out west. Michigan size, the senior. Problem. Yeah, 3 shooting is clicking. Yeah. Yeah, college basketball is going to be. Yeah, once you get past the NFL and once you get into the middle of January, that's when it's really going to be good. All right, I'm going to jump off in a couple minutes, people. I know I could stay on as always, but I know I got to continue setting up. Take us over to the George Washington Bridge in New Jersey. Oh, you're from India. All right, Shohei, welcome. I appreciate you hopping on board. Yeah, I actually was, I went over to George Washington Bridge yesterday. Oh my God, I was in South Jersey. Had a nice weekend with some of my wife's friends. And what was a 2 hour and 48 minute, because I actually went into Philadelphia yesterday, in Northwest Philly. 2 hours and 48 minutes. That was with traffic back. Ha! I got home 3 hours and 12 minutes. So I left Philly. It was 3:21, and I got home at 6:33. Oh, how far am I from Jersey? Literally, without traffic, 15 minutes. With traffic, about 25. Pedestrian walkway. Trey Dusty made it Indiana for Kirk. Yeah, I think 15, 25 with traffic. There's always traffic on that Cross Bronx Expressway. Ugh, hate it. Explain the tri-state area? All right, well, tri-state's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Connecticut is north of us, as I'm sure you know. And the tri-state area, if you're driving, if you're taking 95, 95 is the main thoroughway. 95 is similar to the 405, because the 405 it goes north-south, right? Pacific Coast Highway separate. But, right, if you're trying to get to San Francisco or even to Seattle, you got to take the 405, if I'm not mistaken. So our 405 is 95. So when you're coming down from Connecticut, you go through New York. New York being Portchester, you go through Westchester County into the Bronx. And then the Bronx there's a Cross Bronx Expressway, which is murder. And I say this all the time, rest in pieces to Robert Moses. He was the one that constructed the Cross Bronx Expressway. To think that this is a main thoroughfare and it has 3 lanes. That's number one. Number two, Robert Moses tried to divide, at that time in the 50s, the Bronx to separate the North and the South, because he put this thoroughfare right through the middle of the Bronx, where the North was supposed to be better than the Bronx, the poor, economic. Of course, the South Bronx, which has been notorious forever. Although there's still a little bit of that, but the South Bronx is certainly not the way it looked in the 70s and early 80s. And then that goes into Jersey, where Jersey is spread out. It's mostly suburban. The capital is Trenton, which is south. It's closer to Philadelphia than it is to New York. But then you have Newark, which is about, from the bridge itself, about 25 minutes. And they have Newark Airport there, which that airport, every time I fly out or leave Newark or arrive into Newark, the tarmac, it seems like it's 8 miles away from the gate. So you could land on time, but it takes forever to get the gate. Oh, I can't stand it. And of course, you have LaGuardia, which is in Queens, and then you have Kennedy Airport, which is also in Queens, but it's technically on the border of Long Island and Queens, and that's further out. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much in a nutshell. And of course, the 5 boroughs of New York, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. The Bronx is the only one that's actually on the mainland, where Manhattan is an island, Brooklyn, Queens connected to Long Island is an island, and Staten Island is Staten Island. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's a tri-state area as far as like driving through geographically. And it's congested. There's a lot of people. If anything, you know what's interesting? Bio, have you ever been to Miami? I'm curious. Or South Florida, we'll just say that. J-Rod, no problem, man. Oh, Christmas, wait. Oh, there you had to go. I got to pick up my sister and brother-in-law Christmas night at 11 from the airport. Wait, they're arriving to you on Christmas night at 11 o'clock? Well, let me scroll up here. Take us over to GWB Brockway. Yeah, they actually have it closed. I think they do construction on one side. I could do New York and California traffic. Mad props to you guys. Not a chance in hell for me. Yeah, I know. New York is... Ugh. I have to worry about cows and deer here, not cars. Yeah, definitely. I would love that, though, to be around the cows and the deers. I go batshit crazy for pulling my boat through big cities. Yeah. You have not been to Miami. Yes, not happy about it, but it is what it is. No, absolutely, J-Ron. Mark Henderson. Please give Lil Poop a shout out. Lil Poop? Lil Poop, I shout you out. Not been to Miami. All right, so bio. Yeah, because New York, obviously it's concentrated. There's a zillion people here. Jersey, a little bit less. It's mostly suburban. Although it has its cities, Newark, Trenton. Atlantic City is way far south, and it's to the coast. Connecticut, Greenwich, Connecticut is real ritzy. But yeah, the reason why I bring up Miami and South Florida, because to me, it's California, but without the hills. It's vast, it's spread out. Miami is concentrated as far as the city goes. Well, I know LA is spread out. If you're trying to get to, let's say you want to get to obviously Santa Monica, or if you're getting to Hollywood, or if you're going to Pasadena or downtown or whatever, or Inglewood. I mean, obviously it's a bit more spread out. But to me, that's how I look at it. It's not as spread out. Miami isn't as spread out as LA, but it's spread out from a regard of, right, you want to get to South Beach or to Brickell, which is downtown. That's their DTLA. And it's downtown Miami, but then there's Brickell, which is on the other side of the bridge. But to me, they're one and the same. Little Havana, where the Marlins ballpark is. And, you know, you'll get your cafecito, you'll get people at Domino Park. Then there's also Wynwood, which is nice. That's a real artsy area. So to me, that's where LA reminds me to a bigger degree than Miami's. That's why I only ask if you've ever been. Miami is cool for a short period of time, in my opinion. It's been a long time since I've been. Oh, really? All right, J-Rod. UNC is hiring Bobby Petrino for the next head coach? Oh, offensive coordinator, my bad. Yeah, I can see that because he has connections with Petrino. I went down in my early 20s and did some work after a hurricane a few months. Oh, all right. Early 20s after, the hurricane. When? Down in Miami? Yeah, Miami's cool. There's always a place in my heart for Miami. I just love it there. It's just a vibe, tropical. The palm trees, the weather, sights, all that. I look like Epstein? Retracted. Maybe Juan Epstein. What's his name? Igno. I'm sure he's referring to another Epstein, but I'm talking about Juan Epstein. And if that guy knows who Juan Epstein is, then you know what? I give him a high five. Yeah, it's a few. Oh, that's cool. Went down in the early 20s. Copper roofs and a hurricane experience, that's for sure. Yeah, Miami. Now, listen, once upon a time, I partied and hung out there in South Beach. The one thing I love to do when I'm down there, I love to run on the beach. Oh, man, there's nothing like running on the beach down there. I did that first thing in the morning before it got hot. But, yeah, they have a lot of cool restaurants, a lot of things to get into. Obviously, your jet skis, you could do the segways around town, a lot of good stuff. So, but yeah, got to get back to Miami. I haven't been there almost a year and a half. Let's see, anything happening in sports here since over the last hour? Yeah, Lamar. Yeah, I don't know about the Jaguars. I got to see. All right. Party was my life till about 24, 25. I hear that. Yeah, sadly, I was into partying until probably my mid to late 40s. And when I say late 40s, I'm talking about like 47, 48. After that, yeah, that was it. That's a young person's game. Yeah, I can't, no. No. I mean, I got a lot of war stories from partying and good, bad, ugly, the whole nine. But yeah, now, no way. Now, listen, it was a thing where people were in town, they want to go out. I'd rather go out to like a bar, restaurant type of atmosphere as opposed to like this big club and it's loud and nah. But that's what I'd rather do. And even then, it's not that I can do that often, but if I'm going to have like a night out, I'd rather do that. Restaurant, drinks, hang out, that's cool. Other than that, nah, I don't need a club. Not staying out till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. What is my drink of choice? That's a good question. I like either a pineapple Patron, or if I really want to elevate, to me is a Negroni. I don't know if you've ever had a Negroni. I'm sure you could YouTube Anthony Bourdain and Negroni. That's where I started drinking them back in 2013. And it's an acquired taste, but that is like my manly drink. But the pineapple Patron, I could do the fruity drinks too. I could do the like the Bay Breezes and all that. I know it's too sugary at times, but yeah, you know, because again, tropical. I like the tropical stuff. What about you, Bio? What's your drink? I'm not talking about drinking at a bar. I'm talking about drug fuel week long. Oh no, I hear that, Jay. Back in the day. Wow, yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah, you go on benders. You just like going all out. Yeah, I've never, quite honestly, and this may come as a surprise. Maybe it may not. Who knows? But I, for one, in my life, has never, ever smoked weed, coke, and none of that. In fact, this weekend, I was with my wife's friends, and one of them actually had a gummy and offered. I said, nah, I'm good. Because I didn't even know how I would react to a gummy. Saying, no. Micheladas, oh yeah, beer guy. Nice. What's your favorite beer? The one beer that I've come to love over the last couple of years is the Kona Brewing beer. Oh, man. That Aloha, the light was, I think it's called a light Aloha. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, liquid Aloha, I think it is. Michelob Ultra? All right. Yeah, I'm a Heineken, Stella, the Kona I do. What else? There's a beer out of North Carolina, which is really good, and you could actually order it because I love coconut, and it's a coconut-flavored beer. Oh, my goodness. I drink those suckers like water. And in fact, if you want to go back in the archives on the channel, I did a birthday vlog last year. And my wife actually ordered it and got it for me for my birthday, and I drank it, and yeah, you'll get to see the label and all that then. Not proud of it if it's drugged, but I probably try at least once. No, I hear you, man. Hey, you've experienced it. Never like coke or meth. I enjoy sleep too much. I hate you, J-Rock. Good for you, man. Ben Jones talking shit. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Guinness guy? Hey, you can't go wrong with Guinness. Used to be a Bloody Mary man. How come? What made you stop? Yeah, I never got into Bloody Marys. I'm not like a tomato juice. And I love the juice, but I don't know. Maybe, who knows? One day I'll try it just to say, the hell with it. Yeah, me, I'm a pineapple Patron or pineapple in 1800 coconut tequila. Oh, if they have that, even better. Definitely go down with that. Vodka goes down too easy. Yeah, love vodka too. I do Belvedere, Tito's. Um, yeah, Negronis. I love those. What else? Yeah, like if I do the fruity stuff, I mean, I don't try to get too crazy. Oh, how could I forget this? I love me a rum punch. When I go to the islands, especially if you go to like, and I've never been to Jamaica. Hopefully one day I'll get to go. But I've been to like St. Thomas. I've been to Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, rum punch. Forget it. Just leave it right here and I'll just start drinking. Did I ever smoke cigarettes? I never smoked a cigarette. Never did. Ben Jones, I need to go to rehab. Nah, I think I'm all right. The vodka goes down too easy. Yes, it does, Bio. Yeah, you did say it. Wait, if it's a beer and on an Escort, not for me. Yeah, I know. We talked about that too the other day, Jay. Yeah, I never smoked cigarettes. I'll never forget. True story. I was, I think, 9 or 10 years old. And I was with, it was even my mom's friends. I don't even think my mom knows this. Not that she would care at this point, but. And she was smoking cigarettes. She goes, "You want to try?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to try that." And she goes, "You sure?" And I said, "I don't want to try it." So she goes, "Come on, just take one puff." And I held it, and the smoke, I was like, "Oh, I can't do this." Because, the cigarette smoke is just, rough. So I was this close. But then when I smelled it, I was like, "Nah, I can't do this." Ugh, just the thought of it. Quit cigarettes. Hey, good for you, man. And then wait, I can't pronounce. Oh, and I'll just say Anna for short. Did I ever smoke weed? I never smoked weed, but I've been around weed heads my whole life. And back in the day, I can't even tell you what's out now. I know, like Chronic, and back then Chocolate Thai and Skunk and Hash, and I mean, I hung around with nothing but weed heads, and they try to get me to smoke and give me contact highs and all that. But one of the best quotes from one of my dear friends, shout out to my guy Rafael Ramos. He said that the day you start smoking is the day I quit. That just goes to show you how I never smoked weed in my life. Jay, I never stopped smoking. Hey, I hear that. Miss Priya, I'll get your comment in a second. J-Rod been sober 7 years and I'm proud of it. Yes. Congrats to you, J-Rod. You know it. And props to Bio for quitting cigarettes. J-Rod, that is next on my list to quit cigarettes. I've cut back a lot now. It's time to stop. Yes, J-Rod, we got you. We'll encourage you. Miss Priya, you think some bad penalty calls at the end of Steelers game? No. I know J-Rod would question the first pass interference. On the last one, listen, Amon-Ra St. Brown, great receiver. How can you not like him? But there was a push-off. You saw Jalen Ramsey go back. That wasn't an acting job. And obviously you saw 3 flags go up in the air. So no, there was no controversy there. No, I appreciate you stopping in, Miss Priya. Absolutely. Miss Priya, I'm curious, what part of the world are you from? Are you from the States? Are you from overseas? I'm curious. But I use weed instead of pain pills. I hear that. Better to medicate there than doing it elsewhere. Caffeine is hard to quit. And that's another thing too. You ready for this? People are going to say, how the hell do I operate on a day-to-day basis? And listen, you've seen. So it is proof. And I don't have any water with me. I have a banana. So I don't drink coffee. Never have. Never will. Occasionally I have tea. But I've never had coffee. Don't like the taste of it. Now, that I've tried when I was a boy. Maybe around the same time I had the cigarette episode. Different from my mom. But I was about 10 or 11. And I tried it. It was just too bitter. It was, ugh. And if I go to a certain place, you live in North Carolina. Nice. My family's from Middle East India. Oh, great. Well, welcome. Again, I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, if you add a Y in between the N and the C, that's where I'm from. I think you know that, but I don't have a problem with the flags. I have a problem with how it was dealt with. Oh, yeah. I mean, it took forever. That was a mess. Ugh. At least they got it right, but still, it shouldn't take 9 years for them to figure out what and I get it. They're trying to get it right. They don't want to rush. But my problem was with the broadcast, can we get a replay? They're showing the replay in the stadium. You can hear the roar of the crowd. You can hear the response. And you're at home. You're wondering what the hell's going on. CBS did an awful job with that. And, of course, I'm going to talk about that in the podcast and kill it. But, no, and I appreciate you stopping in, Priya. But, yeah, that's how I felt about the end of the game. I mean, that was an obvious call. I thought the Steelers were going to lose. Jay and I were back and forth on that. I thought, please. And it came down to a 4th down play. It brought me back to the game last year when Pittsburgh was hosting Dallas on a Sunday night. And they had a 4th and goal around the same area. And Dak Prescott threw a touchdown pass to win the game. And I just said, oh, geez. I had flashbacks of that game. But it wouldn't have mattered because the Ravens lost last night. So now if the Steelers win in Cleveland, which they should do, or if the Ravens lose Saturday night in Green Bay, which who knows with Jordan Love out, if the Ravens lose, Steelers win the AFC North, or if they win on Sunday, they win the AFC North. So I haven't drank coffee in a while now. It was hard to get rid of. Oh, really? I hear that's also tough to break too. Steelers kicker automatic until the boink. Very good, Miss Priya. Yes, and that was a tough one too. Oh my goodness, that would have put him up by 8, and he rarely misses. He hit one from 59 in the first quarter. The Rambler. I look like Aaron Hernandez if he grew old. Yes, I've gotten that. And you know what? You're spot on, Rambler. So kudos to you. Deuce. Hope you have a good one as well. Happy holidays to you and yours, man. Absolutely. Yep, I do. I've got, and if you come back Wednesday, I'll have my head similar to how Aaron Hernandez had his cut. Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time right here on YouTube. The Rambler. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead so you'll get the alert, etc. Away you go. If Campbell kicks the field goal in the first quarter, oh, I know. What was it? Not the first drive. I think it was the second drive where, yeah, they stopped him. I remember that. I listened to that in the car on the way up. After studying Christmas, oh, you're a student, I take it, Deuce. Deuce Dale. Well, I hope you have a good Christmas, even if you have to study, whether it's by yourself or with family, friends, etc. 10:45. I got to sign off in a couple minutes, guys. I got to get started on this. If not, I'll be here all day chopping it up with you guys, which is fun. I love it. This is great. Malaysia. What's the weather like? What's the temperature? Bio, yes, you have a good day. I know I got to sign off in a minute, too. Carolina Panthers are going to slop into the playoffs? Yes, you too, Jay. Could they win a game? Well, Carolina plays Seattle. That's not going to be an easy game. And Tampa goes to Miami. Quinn Ewers, not good yesterday. Could Tampa still win the division? I think they could. I got to see what their tiebreakers are. Because if they win their next two... Now, if they win their next two, but what you call it? Their game up, if Carolina wins Sunday, 24 Celsius. Yeah, it's hot. So that's about 80-something degrees. If my math... Yeah, it's like 2.5 times. Celsius to Fahrenheit is 2.5 times roughly. So it's going to be in the 80s. Worst record team in playoffs. Could be. Priya, I love your sports knowledge. I love it. Could they be the worst? Where are they right now? 8-7? Well, the Steelers are not. They're going to be. If the Steelers win one of them, they're going to be 10-7 minimum. They could be 11-6, especially if Lamar Jackson isn't going to play in that last game. Who knows? But no, I think. Listen, I'm rooting for the Panthers. I want to see them make it to the playoffs. Please, Tampa doesn't even deserve to go to the playoffs. Yeah, that's it. If you're in, you're in. Please look at the Giants. They were 9-7 that one year, and they went and beat the Patriots another time in the Super Bowl. I tell you, crazy. A good chance, but you're there. That's it. As long as you get in the dance. Please, how would you like to be a fan of the Cleveland Browns? Not you per se, Miss Priya, but and now I think, now that I think about it, didn't Myles Garrett have a half sack? So now he's a half sack away from the record. And Cleveland plays, what do they play this week? They play Cincinnati in the final game. I got to see. Jared, I would switch spots. Yeah, we'll have to see, man. If Detroit wins their game and Green Bay loses, then at least you go into the final week with a chance. Without question. All right, let me sign off, people, because, I still got to set up here. I got to record this podcast. And not only that, but I got to go last-minute shopping, and it's going to be a crazy afternoon. But, Jay, I'll definitely get back to you later, man. I wish I could tell you what time, because I know you sent me something this morning, and then, obviously, your text yesterday. I know you talked about going to the Nebraska game, but I think you mentioned something after that. And at that point, I know I was talking with the wife, and then it got late. So my apologies. As always, I know I seem to be apologizing to you a lot. But again, I'm just taking ownership. Not taking you for granted by any means. So that's all that is. And I know you say, hey, don't apologize. And you sent me that meme, which I was cracking up over. I appreciate that. You know that. But again, I'm not, no worries. Just showing you where my heart is at, man. That's it. Because, I don't take you or anybody that hops in on these live streams or adds comments, which I got to catch up on my comments on YouTube, all that. I can't. Until it gets to a point where it gets out of hand. If I get tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, listen, if I get a zillion comments, I can't answer all those at that point. I'll try to do my best, but I know who my day ones are, and my day ones have been in the room. I know Val is going to Alaska. Shout out to Val. Brent, north of the border, I don't know where he's at, but shout him out. I know he's been busy with family. Shout out to Fishing Angel, of course. Got to give her a shout out as well. Who else? Usual suspects that come in here. Am I missing somebody? Of course, Tatsuya was in the room earlier. I don't know if Tatsuya is still around. Shout out to him. I think that's it. Oh, she's working today? All right. Well, tell her I said hello. And that is it, people. Christmas Eve, we'll reconnect. 12 noon, sharp, Eastern time. I may not be at the desk. I may be sitting over there because the wife will be home. I'll be on the sofa. That's all right. We'll still have a good time, catch up on everything, talk about the Christmas slate, get into anything and everything and what's happening. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas at that time because, as you know, this is a season to be grateful, all that. Christmas break, no school. She's working all day. Oh, okay. Oh, so is today her last day? Because I'm sure tomorrow, then into the new year, she's good. Which, good for her. But, we'll definitely catch up then. Of course, the podcast will probably come at you a little bit later, maybe 1 o'clock. Because I know I said 12:30, but since I've been on here now almost an hour and a half, I have to extend that to about 1 o'clock. But I appreciate everybody who hopped on board today. Really do. Even the comment about the guy paying me whatever it is just to be my personal toilet. That's a first, but you know what? Hey, we have some laughs here. Always a good time. But with that being said, enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody. Appreciate everybody hopping on board. Yeah, this week, but she has them all next week. Okay, and they'll go back to the 3rd. All right. No, that sounds good. But, I appreciate you all. I will hope to see everybody there on Wednesday. And obviously podcast later, so check that out. And as I continue to plug away here with what it is I love to do, talking sports since birth, as you know, in the blood and the DNA, from where I am to wherever you are, always coming correct, direct, and in full effect. So this live stream is about to expire. So with that being said, peace, love, and God bless to you all. See you on Wednesday. Enjoy your Monday. And until then, on the flip, baby.